In this next report, we'll take a look at some of the arrests and seizures made by operatives of the agency in the past week.
Operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency have arrested a 50-year-old businessman at the Akanu Ibiam International Airport, Enugu, for ingesting 90 wraps of cocaine. In another operation carried out by a special operations unit of the agency, a head of a cocaine distribution cartel was arrested with 5 of his associates at Ago Palace Way in Okota, Lagos. A total of 2.412 kilograms of cocaine were recovered from them. In a related development, another drug syndicate operated by a Chinese man has been dismantled by NDLEA operatives following his arrest at his hotel in Ikeja area of Lagos. Officers of the Semi-Special Area Command of the agency had earlier intercepted a 40-year-old suspect in a commercial bus going to Ghana at the Baji checkpoint along the Badagry Semi-Expressway based on credible intelligence. At the Tinkan Seaport in Lagos, NDLEA operatives intercepted 92 parcels of loud, a synthetic strain of cannabis with a combined weight of 23.25 kilograms, concealed in 2 vehicles imported from Canada. In Rivers State, NDLEA operatives intercepted 2 containers of imported opioids during a joint examination with men of the Customs Service and other security agencies. In Ekiti State, NDLEA operatives arrested a 50-year-old physically challenged woman with 286 grams of Colorado and loud strains of cannabis, while 64 kilograms of cannabis sativa was recovered at Akinyele Motor Park, Ibadan, Oyo State. Over 1,200.5 kilograms of the same psychoactive substance were seized during raids by NDLEA officers in parts of Edo State. At Utese Forest in Ovia Northeast Local Government, 463.5 kilograms were recovered, while 507 kilograms were seized in a compound in Owan Village, Ovia Local Government, where 2 men were arrested. Another suspect was apprehended with 230 kilograms of the same substance at Okuje, Owan West Local Government. In Kano, 4 suspects were arrested by NDLEA operatives at Gadar Tamburawa Zaria Kano Road with 100 blocks of cannabis weighing 45 kilograms, while a 55-year-old man was arrested with 124 kilograms of cannabis at Toro Local Government, Bauchi State.
Let's turn our attention to Benue State, where the Nigerian military is advocating sustained peace between communities and herders in the state. The force commander of Operation Wellstroke, Brigadier General Louis Lepdong, made the appeal at a meeting with various parties in Makurdi, the Benue State capital. Mayowa Okwato reports.
The conflicts between Benue communities and others have persisted, resulting to death of thousands, destruction of properties, and sacking of many communities. Developing a non-kinetic approach to the conflicts, the Operation Wellstroke, led by its force commander, Brigadier General Louis Lepdong, has held some meetings with relevant stakeholders. The latest meeting is to further consolidate on these gains and extend to other communities in Benue State.
This time around, we are already to see peace reign in Benue State. Because of we are sit together with the governor of Benue State, peace governor. By the grace of God, to see their peace reign in Benue State. Any disturbance we are see that we are cooperate with the government and security agency. All those criminals we are apprehending.
We want to ensure that every part of Benue State is peaceful. And so we want to return peace to every region of the state for now. And as you can see, we already have peace returning back to Agatu in full swing. This one, we now want to extend this series of meetings to other regions.
So by these engagements, we prove whether or not the Fulanis are truly involved in the crisis or conflicts that we hear around the state. So it's important that we hear from both sides, give them the opportunity to speak, just like every other person. It is just a series of engagement. Today, the Fulanis themselves are celebrating the fact that Agatu is returning back to peace.
Force Commander Operation Wellstroke appealed for sustained peace for development.
Peace. And I assure you, we will get it. if we have that advice, that we have come here to seek truth and seek peace. On that note, I want to thank everybody for coming, and I wish you journey mercies. And please, don't be tired. We'll call you again for another meeting.
This meeting will hopefully resolve lingering issues with solutions profiled and create harmonious relationship with various parties. Mayowa Okwato, TVC News, Makadi.
You're still watching TVC News. At 4, we'll break away from our regular programming to bring you a live broadcast from Imo State. Still talking security, the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps is calling on citizens to assist in the safety and security of critical national assets in their communities. This call was made at a one-day seminar in Delta State. Ikenna Amechi reports.
Vandalism, theft, and damage to national assets, like continuous collapse of the national grid, affects everyone and has ripple effects on the country's economy. This seminar is a collaborative approach between the NSCDC and stakeholders in Uwe Council area towards maintaining and protecting public property by taking responsibility.
The security of the critical national asset like infrastructure is a shared responsibility. While the NSCDC remains at the forefront, community ownership and collaboration are indispensable. By fostering awareness, embracing technology, and promoting collective action, Nigeria can ensure that the resilience of the critical national asset, thereby securing job opportunities, economic development, and national stability.
Participants, which include traditional leaders, women, and youth, pledged to be proactive in ensuring assets are not vandalized or damaged.
As Riley said, if you say something, because all the infrastructure belongs to us, belongs to the government, so it will be terrible if we allow them to be destroyed. So security is everybody's business. That's why we should synergize with all the relevant authority to make sure that our facilities are well secured.
My message to the youth out there is that they should protect lives and properties, protect government assets. Don't take advantage of government assets when you are protesting of mismanagement of government or whatever. You understand? Because at the end of the day, when you destroy government properties, the pains fall back to you again.
By working together with communities, the NSCDC believes the safety and security of government assets can be guaranteed, thereby contributing to national development and growth. Ikenna Amechi, TVC News, Efrun, Delta State.
The governor of Cross River State, Basi Otu, has appealed to organized labor in the state to reconsider their planned two-day warning strike. The strike, which is scheduled to start at midnight today, is meant to advocate improved working condition and welfare benefits for workers in the state. Governor Otu made the appeal during the 5th edition of the Solemn Assembly in Calabar, the state capital. Also calling on the Niger State government to put more attention on counseling programs in schools in Niger State. Chinemi Bambiyu reports.
Guidance and counseling are globally recognized as vital tools in managing discipline and fostering personal development in any society. However, in Niger State, this essential service is struggling to meet the needs of schools. According to the Niger State Universal Basic Education Board, there are over 3,200 schools in the state, yet only 194 guidance counselors are available to serve these schools across 25 local government areas. This shortage has created a significant gap, leaving many students without access to proper counseling services during their formative years. The lack of counselors isn't the only issue. Tensions between school management and counselors further complicate their ability to provide effective services.
The head teachers always see the counselors as intimidating them, as being their rivals, because they are not teachers. They don't go into the classroom, so it's like they are seeing them as if they are not part of the school. They see them as their rivals. So we have been trying to advocate to the head teachers that the counselors are not taking their position. They are not there to take their position. They are just there to guide and nurture the young mind.
One counselor shared how this gap impacted their personal journey.
We are coping with it by creating awareness in the schools. We even place posters around visit a counselor. As we are saying that we have never visited a counselor for once. And if you will have visited a counselor, maybe they should know your profession.
Efforts are on the way, but stakeholders agree that much more needs to be done to close the gap and ensure every child in Niger State has access to guidance and counseling services.
To go gradually, as we get the numbers and we train them and then they become qualified, we'll deploy them. And we're not just going to look inwards, we're going to look even outward and see if there are those that are actually within the service of Niger and have this appropriate qualification, because it's in the interest of all of us that our kids are properly guided and then their talents are properly harnessed.
And school, and not only employing them, there's need for training and retraining on the job. Let these counselors be sponsored to attend international conferences.
Many children either do not know that there's a counselor in their school or they're not motivated to see one when they have problems. These are part of the problems that this conference will be addressing. Cheneme Bami, TVC News, Mina.
And creatives from Nigeria's northeast region now have a vibrant space to nurture, refine and showcase their talents to global audiences at the annual Northeast Festival of Literature, Culture and Creativity. Lanre Adeyemi tells us more about this.
Armed with brushes, pens and creative voices, budding and established talent from Nigeria's northeast are using art as a tool to address the region's pressing climate challenges. The Northeast Festival of Literature, Culture and Creativity has become a haven for artists, writers and performers to inspire change.
I think it is high time that the government goes beyond just dishing out policies, but begin to make the citizen now own up to it, to say, okay, this policy is not just a government policy, it is our personal policy. And we will have to work with it to make our environment better. And the only way you can make people own a project is when you make it creative.
Held at Gombe State University, the festival's 4th edition calls for states in the region to harness the talent of these creatives to drive policies that protect the environment.
The talent we have, particularly in the Northeast and especially Gombe State, is in abundance. You could see the display, the cultural display by the students here, and like you mentioned, the various campaign songs we had and so many other initiatives that are done by our young people. So we have bundles of talents, and I tell you, the sky is the limit.
Academics are confident that initiatives like this festival can foster sustainable environmental practices.
What I've tried to do today is to look at how climate change, literature, innovation, heritage, how they interplay, how all of these kinds of play and help in bringing about what we call resilience.
Our date palm, the blossom, you will not see any single person going there just to say they want to tamper with it. You see animals roaming about freely. That shows our little contributions towards ensuring that we mitigate the effect of climate change.
Students from several schools across the region joined the festival, participating in activities such as essay writing, painting, poetry, and tree planting campaigns. Through art and innovation, the festival serves as a beacon of hope in the fight against climate change. Lanre Adeyemi, TVC News, Gombe.
To a bit of entertainment now, Diana Childs, a rising figure in Nollywood, has made a cinema debut with 143, an emotional film exploring friendship, love and infidelity. The movie also offers a fresh perspective on relationships told through the lens of a mature woman's romance with a younger man. Directed by Jide Onyegbile, known for his recent work in House of Gar, 143 represents a collaboration between seasoned professionals and emerging talent in the Nigerian film industry.
You know, this money-centric way of living that we've become, that is like the major primary thing we look at when making any decision, especially when it comes to marriage or relationship. Once money is taken care of, everything else can go by the wayside. It's one of the worst decisions you can ever make in your life. And that's something Diana decided to explore with 143, which is why I told her that it's a brilliant thing to explore, because we definitely need that message right now. So pick your partners very carefully. Money is not everything.
We're growing and we're evolving. We're not where we used to be, and I mean the stories are a lot more better, and everybody is really bringing up their A game. So yeah, I think we're not where we used to be, and we're moving forward.
I think that the government should be a little bit more open-minded. I see how culture and religion and the environment plays a lot of role in boxing creatives in the industry, and yet we can watch that in Hollywood. People want to watch that. Don't censor that. Let them be creative enough. You know, I think that what should be done should be some form of categorization, and not just oh, don't show this film. Categorize the film, put it as +18, put it as +21, and the likes. But let people watch what they want to watch.
Well, let's take you to the COP29 summit in Baku, where countries have adopted a $300 billion annual global finance target to help poorer countries deal with the impacts of climate change. But while the agreement was celebrated by some, others criticized it as inadequate. Esther Mopariola reports from Baku.
After 2 weeks of intense talks, COP29 delegates in Baku reached an agreement to boost climate funding. The deal sets a target of $300 billion a year by 2035 to help developing nations adapt to and recover from climate disasters. The United Nations says the deal is a step forward.
This new finance goal is an insurance policy for humanity amid worsening climate impacts hitting every country. But like any insurance policy, it only works if premiums are paid in full and on time.
But not everyone is convinced. Some delegates criticized the deal, saying it doesn't go far enough to address the challenges faced by vulnerable nations.
This is an insult to what the convention says. Should I remind us of what the convention says? That it noted that developed countries had the largest share of historical and current global emissions. This might be 1994, but it's still very current till now. It also said that the developed countries will take the lead, and this lead is climate finance. That the developing country is saying that it's taking the lead with $300 billion till 2035 is a joke.
However, and this is for everyone to see, this has been stage managed, and we are extremely disappointed with this incident.
The new target builds on the previous $100 billion annual pledge by wealthy nations, which was delivered 2 years late and expires in 2025. Next year, leaders will meet in Brazil's Amazon rainforest to map out the next phase of global climate action. For now, the focus remains on tackling the rising costs of climate change, from deadly floods in Africa and Asia to record-breaking disasters in Europe and the US. The effects are being felt worldwide.
With global temperatures expected to break again this year, the big question is whether this new deal will turn promises into action. Esther Mokbariola, TVC News, Azerbaijan.
We're talking sports now. Congolese fighter Ananias Mulumba has made it to the final of the African Knockout Championship Season 6. Fighting in the main bout at the Monarch Event Center in Ikate Elegushi, Mulumba dominated the featherweight bout to defeat Jakel Anyana of Nigeria. The Congolese defeated Anyana via a technical knockout in round 2 of their featherweight bout to progress to the championship final.
I'm now in the playoff, so
I will be the champion of this division, yes. So my message to my opponent, my next opponent, it will be Rodis, because Sankara is here. I will be the future champion of AKO.
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling stronger. I'm feeling like a lion. I'm feeling like a king, because I'm the woman king. Always prepared. Entering into that cage, you must be prepared. So I'm always prepared for anybody. It's either you win or you lose. So I'm not for the loser. So I'm always prepared.
See, mixed martial arts is called the fastest growing sport in the history of sports, because in a very short period of time it was able to take over some of the major sports that have been around for hundreds of years. Same applies for Africa. Unfortunately, we need a lot of platforms, we need a lot of infrastructure and the ecosystem for the sport, and this is what African Knockout is bringing.
That's TVC News this hour. For more updates on the stories we're monitoring, you can visit our website. It's TVC.